Our number, 877-381-3811, 877-381-3811. Well, we've never done this before. It is Governor's Night, Governor's Evening on the Mark Levin Show. Just turned out that way with 3 governors contacting us. We will have Governor Ron DeSantis on at 8:30 with his new Lieutenant Governor Jay Collins. That'll be fun. We're going to talk about redistricting, among other things. In hour 2 at 7:20, we're going to have the governor of Texas, Governor Greg Abbott, on the program. I don't believe he's ever been, well, maybe once before, years ago. Also a great governor. We're going to talk to him. By the way, the dork and the failure and the loser who was the governor of California destroyed the greatest state in the country, and it was. Simply was. That's the way it is. This guy, well, okay, I warned them, and now I'm going to change all the districts in California. The guy wants to be president in the worst way. We will do everything we can to stop him, and we will expose him. In every respect, this guy is a horrible, horrible, not just governor, but person. I can't wait. I actually hope he's their nominee. That little dabble do you stuff on his hair, that's not going to carry him through. And in about a half hour, less than a half hour, we were contacted by the governor of Alaska, which is where the big meeting is going to be taking place with the president and Putin. Governor Mike Dunleavy, we've had him on before, he's a good guy. So Dunleavy, Abbott, DeSantis. And in the meantime, is there going to be an investigation of George and Alex Soros and all their foundations, some of their nonprofits and so forth? Because George Soros and Alex Soros are probably doing more to destroy this country than any other family in this country. They're spending the billions of dollars that they've earned from our society to try and destroy it. And this guy has been under the radar, despite us taking notice. He's been under the radar in terms of any of the scandals that have taken place. And he shouldn't be. And he shouldn't be. He's been trying to buy up talk radio stations with Odyssey or whatever the hell they call it. But whatever it is. Now we have New York Post, Victor Neva, left-wing dark money mega donors, including George Soros, contribute $20 million to groups funding protests against Trump's D.C. crime crackdown. Several lefty dark money organizations, including George Soros's, contributed more than $20 million to groups funding protests against President Trump's crime crackdown in Washington. Free D.C. Now, see, I read about this in On Power. You see how this works? They use the word free, when what they really mean is keep the people behind closed doors at night. We support the criminals. We want felons to vote. Keep them in failing crime-ridden schools. We oppose school choice. But Free DC, a fiscally sponsored special project of progressive nonprofits, Community Change and Community Change Action, brought 150 demonstrators near the White House Monday to protest Trump's plan to deploy National Guard troops in the district and federalize the city's police department. Now they're doing the same thing with the anti-Semites that march up and down the streets. You know, they'll never get lost, Mr. Producer. They just march up and down the streets. Have you noticed that? Or they march in a circle. Do not obey in advance and take up space are among Free DC's guiding principles. And the group urges supporters to go outside at 8 p.m. and bang pots and pans, sing, chant, make noise for 5 minutes every night of this occupation. We're to do the same thing to the Soroses. Alex and Daddy George. And of course, Alex married, what's her name? What is her name? I don't even remember. Hillary Clinton's lapdog. Free DC has scheduled multiple events since Monday anti-Trump protests, including a cop watch training, quote unquote, suggesting further protests are planned amid Trump's effort to make DC the safest, cleanest, most beautiful city anywhere in the world. Uma Abedin. Oh, she knows how to pick them, doesn't she? Huh? That's right. Weiner's ex-wife. Everybody knows Weiner. Everybody knows her. Remember, he took a photo of it and distributed it. He's not the only one, by the way. I'm thinking about mentioning it about another guy, but right now I'm going to keep my mouth shut, Mr. Producer. But it's getting close. It's getting close. Community Change and Community Change Action, the groups bankrolling Free DC's activism campaign, have been the beneficiaries of millions of dollars in donations from hedge fund tycoon George Soros, Open Society Foundation, and Tides Foundation. How does he get away with this? May I ask the Republicans on Capitol Hill, are you going to scrutinize this guy ever? They go after Trump's tax returns. They go after everything. They went after Elon Musk. What about this? Seriously, this guy's spending billions to destroy our country and destroy our allies, for that matter. And the Dark Money Arabella Advisors Network. Now, dark money means we don't know where their money's coming from. Why not? Why not? It's ironic. And yeah, the billionaires. That jackass, Bernie Sanders, the Stalinist, and Mandami, the Ugandan, trust fund baby, Islamist, Marxist, Jew hater. Oh, look at this. You might get elected mayor. It's ironic that a protest to ostensibly Free DC was hosted by Community Change, a group funded by massive amounts of outside dark money, to push a pro-crime agenda, said Caitlin Sutherland, executive director of the nonprofit watchdog Americans for Public Trust. And Caitlin is right. Now, this is why lowlives like Bernie Sanders won't come on this show. I would pin this guy's shoulders to the wall. He wouldn't know what the hell he's doing. This ain't a bash. This freak, fraud, and phony. I mean, he runs circles around her. He runs circles around all of them. Then he gives you this communist old man crap. Hey, don't tell me. Shut up, old man. Sit down. I'm talking to you. I'm educating you, you jerk. You supported every communist dictator on the globe. And you backed off, but you always supported them. Didn't you? In 2023 alone, Community Change and Community Change Action received $4 million from Soros Open Society Foundation, $680 from Arabella, dark money, $145,000 Tides Foundation, dark money. Americans for Public Trust found and publicly available financial disclosures. Now, this Arabella Advisors, these are real lowlifes. A Washington-based consulting firm manages several funds that finance left-wing groups, aka Marxist Islamists, including 1630 Fund, Windward Fund, New Venture Fund, which have all given money to Community Change and Community Change Actions 2025. And what are they fighting for? Crime. Crime. Against the citizenry. Crime. Soros is involved in it. The other Soros is involved in it. This needs to be exposed. Similarly, Soros Open Society Foundation and Tides Foundation and Tides Advocacy, part of the Billionaires Tides Network, are far-left grant-making organizations. No investigations, nothing. Not a single subpoena. Between 2020 and 2023, Community Change and Community Change Action received $12.6 million from Open Society Foundation, $5.6 from Arabella Network. So they all talk. $1.9 million from Tides Foundation. So there's $20 million in 3 years. To do what? To do what? To support criminals. Community Change received $1 million across 2021 and 2022 from Future Forward USA. Anyway, the names go on and on and on. You understand. Those of you have the book, this is the chapter on language and thought control and all the rest of it. You want to double check that? But this is what we're dealing with. The New York Post reports it. The New York Times won't. CBS won't. NBC won't. ABC won't. MSLSD. They'll cover it up. Constipated News Network, they'll cover it up. All this billionaires, money, billionaires, money, come on, what they did. Yeah. Marxist bastard. I'll be right back.
Mark Levin. News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
I'm almost done eating.
Folks, we're living in a time when America's most cherished values are being challenged. Values like faith, family, and freedom. And that's why I support AMAC, the Association of Mature American Citizens. AMAC is the choice for Americans who care deeply about preserving the principles that have guided this nation for generations. As a member of the Association of Mature American Citizens, you'll receive access to fantastic benefits and discounts on travel, insurance, prescription services, as well as exclusive member-only tools and resources. And one of my personal favorites, the AMAC magazine, packed with meaningful content, insightful interviews, and updates you won't find anywhere else. Right now, you can join for as little as $1.20 a month. Hello, with a 5-year membership. That's an incredible value. So don't wait. Go to amac.us/live-in. That's amac.us/LEVIN. Become a member right away. Stand with AMAC. Help keep the values we hold dear going strong for future generations. That's amac.us/LEVIN.
In Virginia, in Loudoun County, a couple of accidents on the Leesburg Pike. One is westbound at the Clearboard Parkway in the right lane, and eastbound after Loudoun Street. That accident blocks the left lane, so watch for delays there. In addition, in Loudoun County, U.S. Business 15 is closed southbound between Davis Avenue and the Leesburg Bypass due to an accident. And in Sterling, there is a crash that has the westbound lanes of Church Road closed between North Sterling Boulevard and Cascades Parkway. In the district, there is crash activity now reported on 20th Street at Massachusetts Avenue in Northwest. And in the district, in the 3rd Street tunnel, traffic very slow northbound between D Street, New York Avenue, southbound at Slope, New York Avenue to the freeway. Now from GarageRateHair.com, the WMAL Stormwatch 7 forecast.
Tonight, clearing with a low around 73. Tomorrow, partly sunny with a chance of showers and storms, a high near 91.
This is the story breaking right now.
Fox 1 is coming soon, which means soon you can be there live for all the biggest moments. And witness history as it's made.
It's not about me. It's about what this human spaceflight program is about. It's our national goals.
Get all of your favorite news, sports, and entertainment with a side of
I think I meant Peter.
all in one app, streaming live on August the 21st. Fox 1.
This week on Sports News, football's newest star ain't no rookie, it's DirecTV. They make it easy to find your pro and college teams across live TV and streaming apps so you never miss a moment. And with access to your game stats and scores in one place, it's good. It's DirecTV like you've never seen it. Visit DirecTV.com today. Internet connected Gemini device and separate subscriptions required. New residential customers auto renews monthly. Cancel anytime. Equipment lease required. Unreturned device fees apply. Credit card restrictions apply.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Conahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody.
I have fried cheese curd.
Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install a Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/day to schedule
Marinara
a
sauce
inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/day for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
At the new Verizon store in Watertown, get the best of Verizon. Find all the latest deals on new devices, your favorites in music and streaming, and all the accessories you need. Switch today and pay $50 a month for a single line. That's right, just $50 a month when you
And
get your
ranch.
phone on unlimited welcome with autopay plus taxes and fees. So come in now and let the savings begin. Stop by the new Verizon store at 129 Arsenal Yards Boulevard in Watertown today. $15 monthly promo credits applied for 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply.
When it's time to scale your business, it's time for Shopify. Get everything you need to grow the way you want, like all the way. Stack more sales with the best converting checkout on the planet. Track your cha-chings from every channel, right in one spot, and turn real-time reporting into big-time opportunities. Take your business to a whole new level. Switch to Shopify. Start your free trial today.
A better life with Dr. Sanjay Gupta.
If you're someone who drinks a lot of diet soda because you're trying to consume fewer calories, you're going to want to hear the results of this new study. Researchers at USC's Keck School of Medicine found sucralose actually triggers an increase in appetite when consumed in a drink. One expert we spoke to said what's likely happening is all cells in the body require glucose or sugar for energy. The brain is the biggest user, gathering up about half of all sugar circulating in the blood. While our brains are designed to respond to natural sugars found in whole foods, artificial sugars appear to confuse the brain and send signals of sweetness without delivering enough calories. When those calories don't arrive, that's when the brain may send out a signal to go eat, find me some energy, find me some calories. How about that? I'm Dr. Sanjay Gupta, helping you live a better life.
WMAL, making sense of party politics, because somebody's got to hold their feet to the fire. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
Well, I hope you folks in New York are ready to either starve to death or, take a drive over to New Jersey if you want to eat. They have great delis in New Jersey, I got to be honest with you. Some of the best delis, some of the best bagels I get in New Jersey, all around Hohokus and Ridgewood. Where's that, Mark? You don't need to know. I know, that's good enough. Some of the best diners, I might have to say. In fact, I will say. Oh, yes. But look at this, ladies and gentlemen, from National Review. City-backed Kansas City grocery store closes despite millions in taxpayer funding. Get ready, New York! A city-run grocery store in Kansas City that was propped up by more than $18 million tax dollars has closed. Shelves are empty, like Cuba, Venezuela, Nicaragua, Moscow. The city-run grocery store in Kansas City that was propped up by more than $18 million has closed. Sun Fresh Market opened in 2018 in the city-owned Linwood Shopping Center. They have a whole shopping center. That's owned by the government. Part of the Community Improvement District. Don't you love the words? Improvement. The shopping center received a multi-million-dollar renovation budget after a decade ago as part of the city's sprawling revitalization efforts on the east side. Again, in the 60s, early 70s, when the federal government was building low-income housing all over the place, remember the tenements all over the place? Rat-infested, drug-infested, crime and gang-infested. And so then they knocked them down. That's what you have to look forward to with Mamdani, whose mentor is a Bernard Sanders, the Stalinist, who's never worked a day in his life. But after months of bare shelves, severe crime problems that Kansas City has spent additional money to curb, what one reporter described as a rancid odor, connected to improper drain maintenance, Sun Fresh has shut its doors. Can you imagine that, Mr. Producer? Oh, my goodness. So terrible, I would say. Unfortunately, due to unforeseen circumstances, actually, they weren't unforeseen. It's government run. You'll starve to death. Beyond our control, we are no longer at this time able to serve the residents of this important community. A sign on the front door of Sun Fresh said, local NPR affiliate KCUR reported, it has always been our dream and passion to provide quality products and services in a safe family environment. This time, unfortunately, we're unable to do that. Oh, yeah. What about next time? But, as these Marxist experiments fail one after another, we just have to keep trying them. Just try harder. For years, the city was happy to be a partner, Kansas City Mayor Quinton Lucas said. There's another loser. But there's always a limit to what we will invest as well. The failure of Sun Fresh in Kansas City raises doubts about the feasibility of New York City Mayor candidate Zohran Mamdani's proposal to establish a $65 million network of city-funded grocery stores. You don't need Kansas City as an example. How about North Korea? How about Cuba? How about Venezuela? How about all of it? How about all of it? But let's go on, shall we? He wants a $65 million network of city-funded grocery stores. Now, who's going to work in these stores? Civil servants? Bureaucrats? Do they know anything about the food chain, let alone the supply chain? Exactly how is this going to work? Can I get it? Mr. Producer, would you contact the Mamdani campaign, which is always quick to get back to you, and would you ask them, We would like to see the blueprint on the city-run grocery stores. We would like to discuss them with our very substantial New York audience. I would like to go through this. I would like to know how they're going to provide for the fish, the chicken, the meat, the bread, the drinks, the prescriptions. I want to know all about this. Yes. Well, waving off concerns that New York's food is expensive because of sales tax rates and high cost of labor, not because of grocery store profit margin. You know, the typical grocery store in New York, or really anywhere in the country, it's like a 1.5% margin. It's what it is. They got to sell a lot to make a profit. There's so many other ways to put your dollars to use. So this guy's going to destroy the food chain. That is the supply chain of food in New York City. And $65 million network of city-funded grocery stores, that's a drop in the bucket. That's nothing. No matter how you think about the idea, I don't think there should be room for reasonable policy experimentation in our cities and in our country where we actually test out our idea, he said on a podcast, did Mondani. And if they won't, they work. And if they don't, then the idea was wrong. Wow, what is he, Aristotle? Kansas City will look for potential operators to continue running the store. Sunfresh was operated by a nonprofit. Well, there's your problem, ladies and gentlemen. A nonprofit. Now, you can be a nonprofit in some areas of our culture, but not when it comes to food. No, people need to make a profit. The farmer, the trucker, the people who package the food, the people who put the food out, supply the food. You know, all that stuff requires money, profit. Profit's okay. In fact, Mandami is a trust fund baby. Somehow, his Marxist punk father and his Marxist punk mother, way back in the days in Uganda, but later in the United States, they made a lot of money. I wonder what they worked for. Did they work for a nonprofit? I'll be right back. If you're with one of the big three wireless carriers, you're really overpaying for your service. You're paying for thousands of retail stores you never go into. You're paying for unnecessary perks you never use. You're paying a massive premium for what you think is superior 5G service. Guess what? Pure Talk uses the same 5G network on the same 5G towers. The only difference, they don't charge you for any of the garbage. Instead, Pure Talk gives you unlimited talk, text, plenty of data for just $25 a month. That's less than half the price of the big guys during a time when saving a buck really matters. I am a Pure Talk customer. I made the switch. You can even keep your phone and your number. So, folks, do this right now.
It's kind of loud. That speaker's right there.
Say Mark Levin. It's that simple. And you'll save an additional 50% off your first month. You can switch over to Pure Talk in as little as 10 minutes. Dial pound 250. Say keyword Mark Levin to switch to Pure Talk. Wireless by Americans for Americans.
WMAL-FM, Oak Ridge, Washington, a Cumulus media station. Making sense of the news. News Talk 105.9. News now.
News at 6:30. I'm Heather Curtis. President Trump says if Russian President Vladimir Putin doesn't agree to stop the war in Ukraine during their meeting in Alaska on Friday,
there will be very severe consequences.
He wouldn't give details, but said if the meeting goes well, he'd quickly call a second one with Putin and Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky almost immediately. Mr. Trump spoke with Zelensky and European leaders today and said the phone call was rated a 10. Zelensky says sanctions should be strengthened if there's no deal. The president speaking at the Kennedy Center after announcing this year's honorees: George Strait, Sylvester Stallone, Gloria Gaynor, Michael Crawford, and Kiss. And
I have agreed, Thomas. Do you believe what I have to do?
The Kennedy Center honors will be in December. Traffic and weather next.
At the new Verizon store in Watertown, get the best of Verizon. Find all the latest deals on new devices, your favorites in music and streaming, and all the accessories you need. Switch today and pay $50 a month for a single line. That's right, just $50 a month when you bring in your phone on unlimited welcome with AutoPay plus taxes and fees. So come in now and let the savings begin. Stop by the new Verizon store at 129 Arsenal Yards Boulevard in Watertown today. $15 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In terms of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonihan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Ron, are you calling from the ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have a leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install a leaf filter. America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/day to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness.
Starting to cloud up again.
That's leaffilter.com/day for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty.
This morning we had a little thunderstorm and my power went off for about 10 minutes.
Retinal disease can steal your eyesight, but it doesn't have to. Patients who seek care from a retina specialist have the best chance of preventing vision loss due to age-related macular degeneration or diabetic retinopathy. AMD symptoms to look out for are distortion or warping of straight lines, as well as blurred or loss of central vision. Patients with diabetic retinopathy should seek treatment if they notice the appearance of spots or floaters or blurred and distorted vision. Visit seeforalifetime.org.
Making sense of the border.
Homeland Security is right there at the tippy top of American concern.
WNAL's Vince Carney. Weekdays at noon. You gotta be top. News Talk 105.9. WNAL. Making sense of the news.
The Mega Millions jackpot is getting mega huge. Head to your favorite New York lottery retailer and grab a ticket today for your chance at a massive win. Currently over $300 million. Good luck, New York. Please play responsibly.
At the new Verizon store in Watertown, get the best of
This is some
all the latest deals on new devices,
sticky stuff.
music and streaming, and all the accessories.
Really sticky.
Today and pay $50 a month for a single line. That's right, just $50 a month when you bring in your phone.
Clogging up this fucker.
AutoPay plus taxes and fees. So come in now and let the savings begin. Stop by the new Verizon store at 129 Arsenal Yards Boulevard in Watertown today. $15 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data on unit 2G speeds. Additional terms apply.
Making sense of your world.
Thank you for what you do.
News Talk 105.9 WNAL.
You give me hope.
Making sense of the news. Mark Levin, the research author of conservative media. Call in now, 877-381-3811.
Governor Mike Dunleavy of Alaska. How are you, sir?
I'm doing well, Mark. How about you?
I'm doing great. I understand you got some floods or something going on up there. Am I wrong?
We have something going out there all the time, Mark. We had a glacial outburst, a flood in Juneau, and it happens now on a yearly basis, unfortunately. But the damage was a lot less this year than we thought it would be, and so there's been some work on the river down there with barriers. But always something happening in Alaska, Mark, whether it's earthquakes, winds, fires, you name it. It's the last frontier.
Well, speaking of which, you're having a big meeting there. I guess it's Friday, right? And Putin and the president. I remember reading where is it going to be? It's on the west end of Alaska, yeah.
No, it's going to be in Anchorage. It's going to be at the military base. Military base, yeah. So it's a big state, Mark, but yes, Anchorage.
I'm trying to act like I know it, Governor. Come on now. By the way, I think I told you before, I love these shows on Alaska where these guys, with the longest beards in the world are just living off the grid there, catching salmon. First of all, Governor, I have to be honest with you, I'm not big on salmon. So I wouldn't survive very well, I don't think, out there, even if I knew what the hell I was doing, which I don't. And my people, I'm Jewish. We eat salmon all the time, and hold on now. I don't know about that. But anyway, let me ask you this. You're going to have to really step up security and everything, aren't you?
Yeah, and that's happening now. And we've been working with the White House advance team since Saturday, several meetings. So being on the base makes it pretty secure. We're pretty confident there'll be no issues or incidents. And the president's been here several times. Folks don't realize that the president refuels at the military base when he goes to Asia. So we've had the opportunity over the years to go on Air Force One and have meetings with them. And President Trump is a big fan of Alaska, and so it's great to have him back here.
Now, let me ask you this. Seward's Follow, they used to call this, right? When we bought, I think it was when we bought Alaska from the Russians. It was thought to be a real white elephant. Look what it turned out to be, a fantastic state, a beautiful state, incredible natural resources. And apparently that's still getting under Putin's skin, isn't it? At least he says it is.
Well, I can understand that because, as you said, it is an amazing state, and I think it was a deal not just of the century, but I think a deal of the millennium. To be honest with you,
Anybody from Alaska here?
For a state of this size, I think we return that every other.
Because that's the governor of Alaska he has on. Wigan.
Incredible state, Mark. I've been up here since 1983. I originally came from Pennsylvania, but this state is amazing, and just honored to be the governor of this great state.
Hey, mention your name, Wigan.
I'm a Pennsylvania originally.
You probably never heard of this town, Mark, but it was called Scranton. I'm the other guy.
Oh, you're the other guy. You're the other guy. Very good.
I'm the other guy.
By the way, I've been to Scranton many times. People there want nothing to do with Biden. They don't remember Biden. The guy moved out of there. He was 5 years old. They moved to Wilmington. And they always talked about his roots in Scranton. And he only went back there, Governor, when he was running for office and so forth and so on. But so that's not really that long ago. Some 40-some years ago, you moved to Alaska. Now, I assume your parents moved and they brought you with them? No?
No. I moved right out of college. My parents lived their entire life in Scranton. I've got a brother still in Scranton. It's a great little town. A lot of folks that come from Scranton. Yeah, it's a great place.
So why did you do that? Why did you move to Alaska?
Always wanted to. I always loved the outdoors, Mark, and Alaska was the ultimate outdoors. When I moved up here, I lived in rural Alaska for almost 20 years. My wife is an Eskimo lady from above the Arctic Circle. My kids were born up there. They to this day, my 3 daughters work at one of the largest lead zinc mines in the world.
Lead zinc mines. My grandfather Hayden was one of them.
Love Alaska. Love the outdoors.
Wigan. I live in the village of Governor. There's a village and a town.
No, I haven't. But
the village of Governor is inside the town of Governor, Wigan.
And we'll get to something other than salmon.
What a dumb fuck.
Cod, a few other things, okay?
Look it up.
As long as they're
Type in village of Governor, New York, 13642. See what you get.
You used the word Eskimo. I thought that was banned officially by the woke world. And you say you married an Eskimo. Now, don't we say Native Alaskan or something? What is the phrase?
Inuit.
Well, we have 3 major groups of Native Alaskans.
Is one of them
Indian folks and Aleuts? And
Aleuts. I'm sorry.
It was President Obama that decided to ban the
Aleuts. My mistake.
And I asked my wife that question, and she said no one talked to her or her people. So she still refers to herself as Eskimo, and most of the relatives and friends that I know that are Eskimo refer themselves as Eskimo.
And what the hell's wrong with it? Perfectly fine name.
They had no problem with it. They just didn't understand why President Obama felt that he had to change the name.
Now, I have to disagree with the president on one thing. We had Mount McKinley, and then Obama named it Denali, the great one. And then my callers started to call me Denali. And then I said that mountain was named after me. And then the president dared to rename it Mount McKinley. I'm offended by this, Governor. May I say?
Well, maybe he wants to reserve the name for you, Mark, the great one, Denali. But no, it's been called Denali and McKinley. Denali is one of our Native Alaskan, our Indian names for the mountain, and most people refer to it as Denali, McKinley, or just the mountain. It is. We oftentimes just say the mountain.
So that damn thing is standing in the way there. How the hell am I going to get around it? You ever do that?
No, it's a beautiful mountain. You really need to get up. You should come up here and do a show. We're on the verge of consummating one of the largest gas line projects in the world here, and we should know in about 2 months where that's going to go. And if it does, we should bring you up here and come up in the summertime, Mark. It's a little bit warmer than the winter, obviously, but we'd love to have you.
Now, you've invited me twice now, so I'm going to seriously talk to my wife about this. She'll go anywhere. She loves it. Me, I basically stay in a little hollow. Let me ask you this, Governor. Alaska is crucial when it comes to energy. So under the Biden regime and the Obama regime before that, they were choking you guys off as much as they could, right? And Trump has liberated the state, or is trying to liberate the state, so you can tap into your resources. Do I have that about right?
You are spot on. The Biden administration brutalized us with 70 federal actions. We had more sanctions against us, Mark, than Venezuela and Iran did by our own government. And absolutely, President Trump has freed us. President Trump, in my opinion, has been the greatest president in the history of Alaska. Absolutely, bar none. The greatest. And what he's done in the last 6 months, I mean, every day you wake up, right, it's something new. And Alaska's got its own executive order from the president. We're the only state mentioned in the state on our gas line. I mean, the list goes on and on. There's an affinity for Alaska that the president has that's almost it's difficult to describe and why. But we love the president, and he has set us free in terms of resource development, and that's exactly what we're doing.
And I don't want to put you on the spot, so let me ask you this. Would you ever consider running for the Senate?
Boy, Mark, my best answer for that would be being governor is the most exciting job I could ever imagine having. And, never say never, Mark, but right now I'm focused on Alaska and working with this fantastic president to move Alaska and this country forward. So talk to me in a couple of years, Mark.
Mm-hmm. Do you ever see Sarah Palin up there? Do you guys ever speak? I'm just curious because it's such a damn big state,
Yeah, last time I saw Governor Palin was actually at the rally in Madison Square Garden for Trump. That's saw her in one of the boxes, and we talked for a while. Like myself, she's traveling. She's in and out of the state. But I think she lives about 8 miles from me up in a little town called Wasilla. Mm-hmm. Yes.
Isn't that amazing? It's a massive state. And you guys live 8 miles from each other? That's kind of interesting.
Pretty much, yeah. It's a beautiful place where we live.
Is your legislature, I apologize, I didn't look it up. Is it Republican, Democrat split? What is it?
All of the above, Mark. It is a combination of majority Republicans that have formed caucuses with the Democrats, unfortunately. And yes, it's that could be another topic for another show, Mark. But we elect the majority of Republicans. Alaska's interesting. We're the only state in the country that has only voted once for a Democrat president. That was 64 for Johnson. Every election, we have voted red. There's no other state like it. Most of our statewide officials, whether it's Congress, senators, governor, usually are Republicans. Second Amendment state like no other. More retired veterans than any other place in the country per capita.
I didn't know that.
It's an incredible place. Libertarian overlay, so it's not red like some of our other, deep red, so like some of our other states. But nonetheless, it's been a bit of a challenge, but we're getting some things done up here, Mark, for the people of Alaska. And again, this Trump administration has just been absolutely phenomenal across the board for this great state.
In other words, you have a lot of Rand Pauls up there. Is that what you're trying to tell me, Governor?
Yeah, it's Rand Paulish to some degree, but again, we love our military, we love our police, we love our resource development, we love the Second Amendment, but there's the people through an initiative voted to legalize marijuana, and the legislature sometimes has its own ideas on how it should form itself up when it gets elected.
It's a beautiful state. And it reminds me of America like 100 years ago and so forth. I'm not saying there isn't technology and advancement. There's a lot of it, but it's such a big state and it's real frontier land. I mean, I think, quite frankly, of Montana and Wyoming in that respect too, but Alaska is just different. Governor, you're a lot of fun and you've got a lot of substance. It is fun to have you on. We got to do this again. I much appreciate you, my friend.
Any topic, Mark, and thanks for what you're doing. We listen to you a lot, and even up here in the great state of Alaska. So come on up and visit us. We'll take care of you.
I may well do that, the wife and I. God bless you, Governor. Yes. Thanks for spending a little time with us. Pretty cool guy, don't you think, Mr. Producer? What the hell am I going to do in Alaska? I don't fish. I don't want to deal with the grizzly bears and the mountain lion. Yeah, I'm not a man of nature. I've explained this before, but not, Mr. Producer. Like Florida. Florida is like Australia when it comes to bugs and stuff. They're like 5 times the size of bugs in Virginia or Pennsylvania. So, oh man, is that a cockroach? Oh my God. Or is it a rat? And once I saw a spider on the wall. That damn thing was 6 inches by 6 inches.
Bigger than that.
I went to hit it with my shoe. It was so fast, I never saw it again. So for 3 nights, I couldn't sleep, Mr. Producer. Did I ever tell you that story? I told my handyman, who's a great guy, every now and then I need him to help. Shut the damn door when you're in this house. Don't leave it open. But the snakes are like 87 feet long, and I'm going, whoa, whoa, whoa. And then you have these lizards that are very colorful, very pretty, until you learn they come from Central America, and their skin is filled with deadly poison. And from time to time, like a dog will bite one, and they will literally foam in the mouth and die in 90 seconds. It's horrible. Horrible. And then you find these cat paws in the sand in your backyard. In the morning, you go out there, hey, let's take a walk on the beach. And you go, whoa, what the hell is that? No, it's not that bad. I'm just kidding. But there are big things there. And so when you go to Alaska, if you're not a person of the wild, and I'm not, my idea of nature is, leave a home on the Potomac is looking out the window at nature. I like to do that. So I like to look out the window because they're out there and I'm in here. Get my drift, Mr. Producer? It's like the ocean. The funny thing about the Atlantic Ocean on the New Jersey side, we used to spend our summers in Atlantic City and Ventnor. That ocean. Never saw any sharks. There's sharks. They go up to, they like Massachusetts. They like liberals, these sharks. I don't know what they see, but apparently they're very tasty. And then south, in Florida, we have lots of sharks. I don't know what the hell's going on down there. I think they're escaping from the south. But nonetheless, there they are. But when we would go in the ocean, in Atlantic City and Ventnor, Margate, those areas, there are any sharks? Very sharp. But as a matter of survival, you know what I do when I go in the ocean, which is not that often, Mr. D? I make sure that there's a bunch of people around me. You understand my point? So they're the chum and I'm not. I'll be right back.
Mark Levin. WMAL, making sense of the economy because it's your money and your retirement. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free. The world on edge.
Massive precision strikes on the 3 key nuclear facilities in the Iranian regime.
A news cycle that never slows down.
This is the beginning of an Iranian retaliation.
Stream WMAL for breaking news.
We've got you covered on this.
Daytime, nighttime, weekdays, weekends. It's free on the WMAL app.
Have you seen that? It's pretty amazing.
For breaking news and to talk about it.
A lot of your reaction pouring in. I expect that, and I welcome it.
Depend on News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
On 270 north and after Middlebrook Road, there is an accident blocking the 2 left lanes, and that has traffic jam from Shady Grove Road, but also slow through the Bethesda area heading northbound between the Spur and Falls Road. In Prince George's County College Park, there is a crash on Route 1 just north of the Beltway, and in Northwest, watch out for an accident on Broad Branch Road at 31st Street in Northwest. In Loudoun County, US 15 business is still closed southbound between Davis Avenue and the Leesburg bypass due to an accident. Now from GarageRepair.com, the WMAL Storm Watch 7 forecast.
Tonight, clearing with a low around 73. Tomorrow, partly sunny with a chance of showers and storms, a high near 91.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install a Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/day to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/day for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. 1 discount per household.
This week on Sports News, football's newest star ain't no rookie. It's DirecTV. They make it easy to find your pro and college teams across live TV and streaming apps so you never miss a moment. And with access to your game stats and scores in one place, it's good. It's DirecTV like you've never seen it. Visit DirecTV.com today. Internet-connected Gemini device and separate subscriptions required. New residential customers auto-renews monthly. Cancel anytime. Equipment lease required. Unreturned device fees apply. Credit card and restrictions apply.
I was on a routine patrol, and the vehicle flipped and landed on top of me, which left me paralyzed from the waist down.
I'm William Shatner. Show them their sacrifice hasn't been in vain. Go to pva.org to learn how you can make a difference.
Life insurance. Why are you putting it off? Can't afford it? Too much hassle? Think you don't need it? There's lots of excuses for putting off life insurance. But if you weren't there, who would pay the mortgage and other bills? With Ethos, you could be covered in 10 minutes and boom, family protected. Ethos, fast and easy online term life insurance. Up to $2 million in coverage with no medical exam. Some policies as low as $1 a day. Answer a few health questions and get your free quote at ethos.com/today. Ethos.com/today.
You know, Americans love using their credit cards, one of the most secure and hassle-free ways to pay. But D.C. politicians want to change that with the Durbin-Marshall credit card bill. This bill lets corporate megastores pick how your credit card is processed, allowing them to use untested payment networks that jeopardize your data security and rewards. Tell Congress to guard your card, because Americans lose when politicians choose. Learn more at guardyourcard.com, guardyourcard.com, paid for by the Electronic Payments Coalition.
Making sense of your world.
I can't believe this.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
And I am so with you.
Making sense of the news. WMAL. Making sense of the markets. Because generational wealth doesn't build itself. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
Mr. Producer, during the breaks, you'd rather not, I think. I want to talk about something deeply personal to me and so many of you. It's the Holy Land. It wasn't until I was 60 years old that I went to the Holy Land. I went to Jerusalem. I went to the city of David, which is actually older than Jerusalem. It's right at the foot of Jerusalem. I walked where the Jews walked thousands and thousands of years ago. The second temple, which was built where the first temple was destroyed by the Babylonians, and the second temple destroyed by the Romans. I walked the path, or at least part of it, that's written about in the Bible. They've now uncovered a pool. The pool where people would go, where they would cleanse themselves, where they would receive prayers. You Christian folks may have heard that that's the pool that Jesus would go to and undertake acts of godly acts that were quite remarkable, been written about in the New Testament. You can touch the walls, you can touch the ground. It's really incredible. And you see, it really does exist. It really does exist. The Bible lives. That's the birthplace of Judaism. The birthplace of Judaism is in a little town called Shiloh. Judea and Samaria. Shiloh. It's still there, where the tribes came together, where Samuel was given directives by God Almighty. And there it is. It's right there, where the tabernacle was, a small location. The Palestinians claim that as theirs. It's part of the West Bank. The Palestinians claim the city of David is theirs, named after King David. The Palestinians claim Jerusalem as theirs, where the first temple and then the second temple were built thousands and thousands of years ago. The Palestinians claim the city of Hebron as theirs, where most of the patriarchs are buried, including Abraham. And I can go on and on. The world has turned on the Jews. Many people in our own country have turned on the Jews. All they want to do is live and be left alone by an area of the world that now has almost all Muslims. It's the home of Judaism and Christianity, Jerusalem. That's where they were born, right there. That's the history. Period. This is why I've partnered with the International Fellowship of Christians and Jews. They understand this. They understand this. And for 40 years, this trusted ministry has faithfully provided nutritious food and care and critical life-saving aid to Israelis, the most vulnerable, including Holocaust survivors. It's about faith. It's about values. It's about standing up with our allies and honoring the shared biblical heritage that binds Jews and Christians together. Please check them out. Go to levinforthefellowship.org. That's LEVIN for thefellowship.org. It's a beautiful website. Check it out. levinforthefellowship.org.
This week on Sports News, football's newest star ain't no rookie. It's DirecTV. They make it easy to find your pro and college teams across live TV and streaming apps so you never miss a moment. And with access to your game stats and scores in one place, it's good. It's DirecTV like you've never seen it. Visit DirecTV.com today. Internet connected Gemini device and separate subscriptions required. New residential customers auto renews monthly. Cancel anytime. Equipment lease required. Unreturned device fees apply. Credit card and restrictions apply.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody. Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install a Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/day to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/day for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
At the new Verizon store in Watertown, get the best of Verizon. Find all the latest deals on new devices, your favorites in music and streaming, and all the accessories you need. Switch today and pay $50 a month for a single line. That's right, just $50 a month when you bring in your phone on unlimited welcome with AutoPay plus taxes and fees. So come in now and let the savings begin. Stop by the new Verizon store at 129 Arsenal Yards Boulevard in Watertown today. $15 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply.
WMAL-FM, Woodbridge, Washington, a Cumulus media station. Making sense of the news. News Talk 105.9. News now.
WMAL News at 7. I'm Heather Curtis. President Trump ending speculation about whether he'll extend his federal takeover of D.C. beyond the 30-day limit.
We're going to want extensions. I don't want to call national emergency. If I have to, I will.
60 senators would need to approve the extension, including at least 7 Democrats.
Well, if it's a national emergency, we can do it without Congress.
But he expects it to go before Congress very quickly. Maryland Senator Chris Van Hollen tells MSNBC.
The president has this very narrow authority, which he is abusing clearly right now, to federalize the D.C. police.
He'll introduce legislation to repeal that authority. Federal law enforcement joined D.C. police for patrols for the first time last night, making 43 arrests. And the White House says you'll see a significantly higher presence of National Guard members starting tonight, and federal agents will be on the city streets 24/7. Police Chief Pamela Smith tells Fox 5.
So we go to respond to a call for service anywhere across the city. We will be partnered with our federal partners and we'll work together.
Border Czar Tom Homan tells Fox News ICE agents are among those partnered with police.
We encounter a criminal illegal alien that we turned over to us. And that's the way it should be. I mean, I'm not saying every illegal alien in D.C. is a criminal, but many are.
And he says they will no longer have sanctuary in the city. After being denied entry into Baltimore's ICE facility last month, members of Maryland's congressional delegation were able to take a tour today to investigate reports of inhumane conditions there outlined in a federal class action lawsuit.
What we saw here was clearly a detention center. They want to claim that it's not a detention center. They want to just call it a holding facility.
Senator Chris Van Hollen says holding facilities were designed to keep people for 12 hours.
Here, the average is now 72 hours.
ICE denies allegations of poor conditions and says it's committed to enforcing immigration laws fairly, safely, and humanely. Virginia Governor Glenn Youngkin's taking action after reports that a Fairfax County school paid for student abortions.
Governor Glenn Youngkin has ordered a full criminal investigation by the Virginia State Police into those allegations. This follows a published report detailing claims that staffers at Centerville High arranged and paid for the procedures, and school administration may have been aware. Fairfax County Public Schools telling WMAL in a statement of their efforts to find additional information on those allegations. Quote, "At no time would the situation described be acceptable. We've taken immediate action engaging an external investigator." Scotland on WMAL and WMAL.com.
The Loudoun County School Board defies the federal government and votes to
I
keep
took
its
a shower
existing
today.
transgender student policy in place.
Our trans community matters.
My hair's getting long a little bit.
Free. And you don't think your rights are next, you're fools.
Dozens of parents spoke out at the school board meeting for and against policy.
What's the matter, Wiggy? You got mad when I said you're not healthy? Because you're not healthy.
Transparency.
LCPS stands to lose up to $46 million in federal funding as a result of noncompliance, with further litigation now expected. Barbara Britt, WMAL and WMAL.com.
A Loudoun County Sheriff's deputy and motorcycle rider were taken to the hospital with non-life-threatening injuries after they crashed on Mountain Road this afternoon. The cause of the crash is under investigation. We're learning there were no functioning smoke detectors in the Waldorf home that went on fire Sunday, killing 4 children and 2 adults. A preliminary report released by the state fire marshal's office found a
Billboard scared me.
floors were destroyed.
He doesn't dare come up on my panel.
Traffic and other next.
He's probably one of the ones been trying to porn bomb me.
Fox One is coming soon.
Yeah, you're pretty pathetic, Billboard.
They're live for all the biggest moments.
You're supposed to have been neutral there years ago when we all first met.
And witness history as it's made.
It's not about
Then,
me. It's about
then you had
what
some kind
this
of beef with
season
Zenny and Rob.
It's our national goal.
Get all of your favorite news, sports,
And I'm in the middle of it.
with a side of
I think I'm at Peter.
all in one app, streaming live on August the 21st. Fox One.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions. Hey, everybody, Chris here. Understand.
Bottom line is this.
Ron, where are you calling from?
Queen T was up on JC's panel, and she was trolling Angie, and she was on Angie about how her baby's a trick baby. She made Angie cry. She said she's going to make Angie cry. I wish I had that audio right there. If Rusty has that, that's gold.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
But it's true.
Trusted pros are in your neighborhood.
But now they're all best friends. It's okay. It's okay with Queen.
And get up to 30% off.
A real man doesn't want a woman like you, Angie.
LeafFilter.com/day for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details.
Wiggin doesn't want to be friends.
10% senior or military discount. 1 discount per household.
JC doesn't want to be friends. They want you to be their friend their way. They don't want to accept me as I am. That's a problem. I'm not going to change for them. They can kiss my fucking ass. Fuck you, Wiggin. I've reduced you to making fucking AI videos and songs about me. That's pretty sad.
And in Loudoun County on US Business 15, southbound between Davis Avenue and Leesburg bypass, all lanes are blocked due to crash activity. In College Park, there's an accident on Route 1 north of the Beltway. Beltway still slow on the inner loop through Tyson's in towards Bethesda and College Park, and the outer loop is heavy through McLean and again from the Springfield interchange to the Wilson Bridge. Now from GarageRepair.com, the WMAL Storm Watch 7 forecast.
A flood watch inside around the Beltway and up and down the 95 corridor until 9 o'clock this evening. Pockets of moderate to heavy rain and thunderstorms. I'm 7 News meteorologist Steve Rubin in the First Alert Weather Center.
Right now, 76 in Washington. I'm Heather Curtis on WMAL.
Now, On 105.9 FM and streaming worldwide on the WMAL app. Mark Levin.
With our leader, Mark Levin.
Hello, America. Mark Levin here. Hello. Our number 877-381-3811. 877-381-3811. You know, one of my favorite sites is Front Page Magazine. And one of my favorite writers is this gentleman, Daniel Greenfield. Perhaps it's because I agree with him so often. It's a very interesting piece at Front Page. It's frontpagemag.com. David Horowitz's site, the late great David Horowitz, and his Freedom Center. The only Democrat hope is to divide MAGA. Understand the pattern to avoid falling into it. I want to read this to you. It'll sound familiar, but I want to read it to you. The last election shattered the complacency of the ruling class for the first time in a long time. The men and women who believed that the future belonged to them no longer did. The culture war, they began admitting in the post-election moratoriums, had gone against them. They've not just lost an election, they had fallen away from the zeitgeist into their new own echo chamber. And no one wanted what they were selling. The Democrats and the larger movement around them has stumbled trying to make a comeback, but they have had a consistent strategy beyond the clumsy efforts to revive the Black Lives Matter riots as the ICE riots, or to file endless lawsuits that even liberal Supreme Court justices are growing tired of. And that is to fracture the successful coalition that President Trump built. Have your attention? Focus on this. Stay with me. Ever since Trump took office, the media, which acts as the ideological attack dog for the movement, has been trying to find wedge issues. Some have been conventional economic ones, meant to split away the emerging working class base, but others are ideological wedge issues targeting a dividing MAGA. First around foreign policy and then around Jeffrey Epstein. Now we're getting there. The issues themselves are less important than what they reveal about Democrat tactics. The left has closely analyzed the Trump coalition, found weak points, and is running information operations to exploit those weaknesses and, when successful, playing divide and conquer. It belatedly figured out that MAGA, unlike past Republican coalitions, was virtually invulnerable to external criticism, shaming, moral blackmail, because it was unconcerned with respectability. Certainly unconcerned, I would add, with what they think of us. Shaming Trump supporters no longer worked because MAGA didn't care. They didn't care what the media or anyone outside the movement thought, or at least that was supposed to be how it worked. But the Trump coalition was a big tent and was a mass of agendas, some contradictory, quarreling factions, personalities, were more opposed to things than for them. Once Trump began governing, he would have to pick and choose, make decisions, and take sides. The question was how the movement would cope with these internal disagreements. Early on, it became obvious that the leak problem that had pervaded the first Trump administration was far from gone. The media enjoyed no shortage of leaks, many of them coming from a Koch libertarian faction that had tried to seize control over foreign policy and has spent months trying to drive out Secretary of Defense Hegseth after he fired the leakers. Beyond the anonymous leakers from inside and outside the administration, certain named personalities have taken to texting the media their criticisms of President Trump and his administration. These figures want the mantle of MAGA, even as they aid Politico and the New York Times in attacking the administration. Rather than elevating themselves by aiding the media, they're demonstrating their untrustworthiness to be leading figures in the movement. Still, all of this was small potatoes until a small group of leftists, libertarians, and far-righters began vocally claiming that there was a split among MAGA and Israel and Iran. Polls pretty clearly showed that there was no split. But as long as the media could keep on quoting influencers like Tucker Carlson and a handful of more obscure figures, along with leftists like Joe Rogan, who had briefly glommed onto MAGA, they could manufacture stories about a split. Epstein was more damaging because it was and is a legitimate split, he writes, The sense of anger and betrayal is real. While it's misdirected at Trump, damaged the movement, sabotaged the legislative agenda, and depending on the electoral outcome going forward, that may make the difference between national survival and national destruction. I might add there, no way. The polls show now that really nobody gives a damn, especially MAGA, and Trump has a 90% Republican support level. So on this, I disagree. And it was also the first time that the losers of 2024 felt like they had won a culture war victory and had a pathway forward. Democrats, including those who had previously shown no interest in the Epstein saga, embraced it because for the first time they had hit a vulnerable point. They keep calling for the release of the Epstein files, not because they have any concern about Epstein's victims, because they care about what's in the files or because they even know anything about the subject, but because it's the first line of attack to legitimately hurt President Trump. Again, maybe initially, but not now. But his point is an important point. Says, and it hurt Trump by splitting the MAGA movement. That is the large objective here. This is the larger point in the story, too. And it is important to be aware that strategy in play, because while some of the concerns and debates on various issues are legitimate, some are being advanced by paid influencers and operatives, along with bot armies to split the movement. You want to see bot armies? Go to my comment section, right, Mr. Producer? You can see the dripping Jew hatred and anti-Semitism coming out of Iran, coming out of Russia, coming out of communist China, and so forth and so on. The leftist strategy contains an enormous admission. And the admission is that they have no way forward as a national movement except by splitting the MAGA movement. It's not a competition, but a zero-sum game in which the left does not have enough room to grow because its message has become fundamentally alienating to even sections of its base. Good points. But at the same time, some of the same forces that helped build MAGA threaten its long-term survival. The movement embraced controversy and shock tactics, but some influencers, I hate that name, but we use it because you know who they are. We're not using shock tactics to achieve something bigger, but to get attention by being contrarian, stirring up controversy, hurling accusations, sabotaging everything is all they ever do. Some of those who went MAGA because it was shocking are turning against MAGA because it's the next shocking phase in their attempt to stay relevant. Others saw MAGA as one-time chance to build their own brand and are splitting off in hopes of building their own movements. It's another reason why third parties don't work. Once you splinter, new splinter groups keep forming and there's no longer a good argument against them. MAGA naturally attracts individualists, and many of them resist larger agendas. But the only way Trump can succeed is if he's given elbow room to pursue a larger agenda. Previous conservative movements resolved conflicts through inaction and so got nothing done. President Trump leads MAGA. What he wants to do, right or wrong, becomes the strategy. And he's the reason that things are actually getting done. The House Republicans have already shown us how useless and leaderless of a movement of weak leaders can be, he writes. I happen to think Johnson's doing a hell of a job when he's got a 3-vote majority, but that's okay. We don't have to all agree with every aspect of this. It's the core of what he's saying that's so important. That doesn't mean that there isn't room for debate or lobbying for one approach or another. Those who believe President Trump is making the wrong decision on an issue should say so. But when leftists hop on their bandwagon, they should get off. They should never cooperate or coordinate with leftist media operations. That's no longer an argument. That's treason. I agree with 80% of what he says here, but I agree with 100% of his core point with respect to Rogan and Carlson, and I'm sure he would add Bannon and Owens, and maybe Piers Morgan. Megyn Kelly's getting more and more into this group. A handful of them, really a handful of them. Not all of them, but a handful of them. And they're giving aid and comfort to the radical elements in this country. And they are, look, I've explained to you, you can have different opinions and policies than the president. You can be respectful about it, legitimate differences and so forth. I have voiced them. I don't have many, but I have voiced them. But you have voiced them in a way that's intended to try and help and persuade, not sabotage, undermine, and cripple. Not threaten, I'm going to leave MAGA. I'm going to leave the Republican Party because they don't agree with me. You don't bring a bunch of neo-Nazis on. You don't platform Holocaust deniers. You don't promote phony historians that build up Hitler and trash Churchill. You don't talk about how the Jews in Israel and AIPAC are getting us into war and so forth and so on. Trump does not agree with any of that. He does not believe in any of that because he's the president and he knows it's a lie. He knows it's not true. And if you really believe in America first, you sound like you believe in America last. And that's what this gentleman is talking about. Daniel Greenfield at Front Page, which was founded by David Horowitz. And he's right. He's 100% correct. And I will sit here and I will fight this and I will fight it and I will fight it. Because these people are paper tigers. When we return, scheduled, the governor of Texas. We'll be right back.
Mark Levin. News Talk 105.9 WMAL. Making sense of the news.
This is the story breaking right now.
Fox One is coming soon, which means soon you can be there live for all the biggest moments. She is good! And witness history as it's made.
It's not about me. It's about what this human spaceflight program is about. It's our national goals.
Get all of your favorite news, sports, and entertainment with a side of
I think I may have peed a little.
all in one app, streaming live on August the 21st. Fox One.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install
Well, let's talk about that.
America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need
I heard that fucker say something that's fucking unbelievable, right? Wiggin, what taxes are you paying? You live on welfare off the state. Who the fuck are you kidding, Wiggin? What do you mean getting ripped off? You're tired of getting ripped off your tax money. You know, you're supported by the state of California, the county you live in. You get Medicaid and everything for your daughter. You've even admitted they pay you to do what you're doing. You have a disabled daughter. You don't fucking go anywhere. Thought you built prisons. Holy fuck, Wiggin. What fucking taxes are you paying? You don't even own your own property. You rent that place. You don't own that. You don't have a mortgage on that. The fuck you, Wiggin. I made you go live again today. Fucking punk. Yee, skirt, go tell your fucking friend he's a fucking punk. He doesn't pay any taxes. I heard him today. I'm sick of getting ripped off my taxes. Yeah, talking politics and shit. Really doesn't know anything. You don't fucking pay any taxes. On the contrary, you live off the taxpayers. They pay your fucking bill for your daughter. Unfucking believable. You know, I keep bringing him up. I keep talking about him because I did listen to him a little bit today because he's an idiot. Like you say, got to listen to this. So I gave you a view. What fucking taxes do you pay, Wiggin? You don't pay no fucking taxes. You live off the taxpayers. You're on fucking welfare. You're a welfare dad. You're doing exactly what you accused me of doing. You're trashing other streamers. Look at you trash Shannon. Now I have to give a pass to Rusty because they're women, and you're in the women's locker room. This is the men's locker room. Your chat sucks, Wiggin. That's why nobody goes there.
So, Governor, tell us the state of play with the redistricting and the Democrats who basically left the state there.
So I called a 30-day special session that has only less than a week left.
This is
in
the
it.
governor of
And
Texas.
The Democrats have to show up there. What's required in Texas is a quorum in order for the legislature to act. And in Texas, it's a 2/3 membership of the House and Senate. In this case, there's 150 members in the Texas House, 88 of whom are Republican, 62 of whom are Democrat. And the Democrats did a very un-Texan thing. They ran away from a fight. You know, we've been known since the Battle of the Alamo as a place that you stand and fight. But the Democrats, they ran away. Because of that, we do not have a quorum. Because of that, we cannot take a vote. But know this, I'm going to be able to call special session after special session after special session until we get this passed. We are going to get this passed. What we hear taking place as we speak is a fracturing of the Democrats that have run away, some of whom want to come back and meet. I will not be surprised if that does occur here in the coming days.
Now, are they being penalized while they're gone? Did I hear something about $500 a day or something like that?
So, correct. I'll elaborate on that first. The penalties that House members suffer because of things like a quorum break, they are set pursuant to the Texas Constitution by House rules. And the House rules provide a $500 a day fine. There are other penalties that either are being imposed or being considered to be imposed by the Texas House leadership, some of which may be imposed while they're gone, some of which may be imposed when they return, including paying for all of the costs sustained by the state of Texas because of the quorum break.
Mm-hmm. Now, what about this issue of bribery? Did I see you talking about that as well, that they could face bribery charges?
You did. Let me explain that. This comes from Beto O'Rourke as well as some others. But I posted something on my social media about a quote by Beto O'Rourke, who suggested that he had all this money that he was going to provide to these Democrats if they broke a quorum, if they did not cast a vote. Under Texas law, to pay a legislator to either take a vote or to not take a vote, I think that would constitute bribery. And as a result, there's investigation by the Texas Attorney General into Beto O'Rourke and these potential bribery charges.
Not the brightest guy in the world, is he? I mean, he's got a real foul mouth. He's running around using the F-bomb all the time. What, does he want to run for office again or something?
Well, so as you may recall, he ran against Ted Cruz, lost by a few percentage points. And then 2 years ago, he ran against me and lost by double digits. And so he's on a losing streak right now.
Now, we have this guy Newsom in California who's getting weirder by the minute. And this guy wants to be the presidential nominee for the Democrat Party. They have 52 seats out there, 43 of which are Democrat, 9 of which are Republican. The Republicans represent, Trump got about 40% of the vote out there, and they got 17% of the seats. And he has said, okay, Abbott, okay, Trump, I'm going to rejigger what seats we have left and punish the Republicans out here. Number one, you think he can do that? And number two, does his kind of tough talk in California, does that really make a governor of Texas worried at all?
Not worried at all. Let me make a couple of observations about the issues that you raised. For one, if you look at the Democrat governors who are talking about this, I think they're all potential candidates for the presidency. You got Gavin Newsom, you got the Illinois governor, you have the New York governor, and maybe some others who are thinking about running for president the next time out, and they're competing with each other to try to look the toughest on this. But none of them concern us here in Texas. Among other things, we know several things about California. One, they have a constitutional provision that would require the Constitution to be amended for them to even be able to try to do this in California. That's just not going to happen. For another, as you were pointing out, listen, California has already gerrymandered their state. This is one of the most exposed issues that surfaced as a result of Texas doing redistricting. And that is these blue states like California, Illinois, New York, Massachusetts, they have already gerrymandered their states. They don't have any or very many Republicans to lose. Whereas Texas, if we were to make Texas look like California, we may be taking 10 Democrat congressional seats away.
Mm-hmm. And Governor DeSantis is saying, okay, California, you pull that, we'll jump in too, and maybe we'll take a little look at our districts here in Florida. You know, we'll team up kind of with Texas, and we can do this too. What do you think of that?
I think they should. So here's the deal, and that is because the Democrats and Democrat states have already been gerrymandered. Again, if Republicans make Republican states look like Democrat states, we'll be able to pick up 10, 20, maybe more than 20 seats in the United States Congress. But it should be the Texas and Florida and other red states doing the exact same thing.
And of course, the census kind of screwed over the Republicans early on, lost anywhere from, and I've calculated this myself and I've talked about it, 5, perhaps up to 10 seats because, quote unquote, they got the mathematics wrong. What do you think of that? I mean, Texas was supposed to have another seat or two.
You're exactly right. So they got the census wrong that cost a Texas district. Rhode Island kept a district. It's just insane. But when a new census is done, two things are going to happen. One is just under the numbers that were used in 2020, Texas should have gained an additional seat, and California should have lost an additional seat. But there is an ongoing process of reapportionment taking place, and that's all of the people fleeing these leftist states. They're fleeing California, they're fleeing Illinois, they're fleeing New York. The point is, the next time we do a census, you're going to find all of the red states have been overpopulated by an extraordinary number. And what that's going to mean is the red states are going to pick up even more congressional districts, even more electoral college votes. And the blue states are going to be shedding those districts and shedding those electoral college votes.
And this whole idea of battleground states, I also looked at this. I'm sure you have. And Governor, we'd like to hold you over. It's just, you're fond of information here. It's very, very important. When you look at it, if the new census is accurate, some of these swing states aren't going to be swing states anymore because, as you're pointing out, some of these red states are going to really be muscled up with more congressional and electoral college numbers. We'll get into that. We'll be right back.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. We're a different kind of wireless company dedicated to serving people 50 and up, like me. Because let's face it, our needs are different. Big wireless unlimited plans are designed for 20-somethings, not us. At Consumer Cellular, we're focused on one thing, bringing you affordable, reliable rate plans that suit your needs, not ours. How do we do that? We start by using the same towers as the big guys, the exact same towers. We then create rate plans designed for your usage. The fact is, we can offer you an unlimited plan with the same network quality for less because we understand how you use wireless services. Our plans start at just $20 a month. And forget trying to chat with robots. You'll get 100% US-based award-winning customer service when you need help. Come find out how wireless should be and join the millions who've made the switch.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com/facts. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
On the inner loop of the Beltway in College Park, traffic is stop and go from Route 1 to Kenilworth Avenue. In Oxon Hill, the inner loop is jammed up between 210 and 295. Now, on the outer loop of the Beltway in Lanham, traffic is slow from Route 50 to the Greenbelt Mark Metro Station exit. In Montgomery County, the outer loop is jammed up from Old Georgetown Road to the GW Parkway. In 270 northbound in Germantown, there is a crash. The left lane is blocked after Middlebrook Road. Traffic is very slow from West Montgomery Avenue. And now from GarageDoorRepair.com, the WMAL Storm Watch 7 forecast.
Tonight, clearing with a low around 73. Tomorrow, partly sunny with a chance of showers and storms, a high near 91.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install a Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/day to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/day for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Ever wanted to stay on vacation longer? Us too. With Verbo's long stay discounts, you can stay longer and save more on select properties. Gotta love a win-win. Book the perfect summer getaway today with Verbo Private Vacation Rentals. Your future self will thank you later.
This week on Celeb News, a new power couple emerges. Live TV and streaming apps are tying the knot with DirecTV's My Entertainment Genre Pack. 50 plus live channels together with Disney Plus, Hulu, and HBO Max, all for one low price. And that's just one of DirecTV's amazing new genre packs. Save some power for the other couples, you guys. It's DirecTV like you've never seen it. New residential customers. Auto renews monthly. Cancel anytime. Apps vary by pack. Prices may vary through third parties. Credit card and restrictions apply. 18 plus. See details at directv.com/genre packs.
At the new Verizon store in Watertown, get the best of Verizon. Find all the latest deals on new devices, your favorites in music and streaming, and all the accessories you need. Switch today and pay $50 a month for a single line. That's right, just $50 a month when you bring in your phone on unlimited welcome with autopay plus taxes and fees. So come in now and let the savings begin. Stop by the new Verizon store at 129 Arsenal Yards Boulevard in Watertown today. $15 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply.
The Mega Millions jackpot is getting mega huge. Head to your favorite New York Lottery retailer and grab a ticket today for your chance at a massive win. Currently over $300 million. Good luck, New York. Please play responsibly.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/day to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
That's leaffilter.com/day for your free gutter inspection today. See representative for warranty details. Promotion is 20% off plus a 10% senior or military discount. One discount per household.
Making sense of your world.
Thank you for your clear insight.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
This is a major wake-up call.
Making sense of the news.
Thursday, KT McFarland will give us a preview of the Trump-Putin summit, plus Lieutenant Governor Winsome Sears. O'Connor and Company, 5 to 9 a.m. on WMAL.
This is the show the New York Times is afraid of. Mark Levin, call in now at 877-381-3811.
First of all, we're here with Governor Abbott. You know, Governor, it's an honor to be in every major city in your state of Texas. We really do appreciate the people of Texas, the listeners. States, so-called, and the Democrats are going to have to rely on them more than the Republicans. Do I have that about right?
Well, you're exactly right. And so it's going to be a dramatic loss, just putting aside the redistricting fights that are taking place as we speak. If you just look at what the next census is going to show, because of all the people fleeing the blue states and moving to red states, you're going to see a tidal wave in favor of Republicans in national elections, in the United States Congress, for the presidency. The Electoral College vote count is going to go up dramatically for Republicans. And so it's going to be a reshaping of the United States. And the authors of that reshaping, Mark, are these leftist Democrat governors like Gavin Newsom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because they're killing their states. People just don't want to deal with it anymore, and they go to free states like Texas and so forth. And that's what they're doing. People are moving with their feet. And the point is now they need to be counted correctly. And I'm watching this guy Newsom, Governor Abbott, and he's a completely failed governor. The finances of California are a disaster. The taxes are through the roof. The price for fuel and food, another disaster. They've taken what many would argue was once, if not the greatest, one of the greatest states in the union, and have utterly destroyed it, no?
You know, remember, it was the Golden State back when Ronald Reagan And now they've lost all that. And, you mentioned some of the reasons why California gets criticized. I'll tell you actually the two most that I hear from the people who moved to Texas from California. One is the regulatory environment. It's even worse than the taxes out there because it just costs so much and takes so long to be able to do anything, like trying to rebuild from the catastrophic fires out there. The other is the crime. The crime is rampant everywhere. You cannot escape the crime. It's kind of like what's going on in Washington, D.C. right now. And so people, you cannot run a business. You cannot go to school. You cannot live in your home if you're constantly threatened by crime like people are in California.
You've been and are an exceptional governor. When it's come to illegal immigration, you were there on the front line trying to protect your state and the country. And Donald Trump came in and he stands right with you and is fighting it and so forth. It must have been hell, the 4 years of Biden and what you had to do and the challenges and what they were doing in terms of violating immigration law. How was that 4-year period?
Well, it was an enormous challenge, and I got to tell you, part of the problem was dealing with the massive, record-breaking inflow of illegal immigrants. The other part was the fact that we were fighting against our own federal government, and that's what made it such an enormous challenge was having to fight against our own government. But now that we have Donald Trump in office, Mark, today I was talking with the head of the United States Border Patrol. And we were reminiscing about the way things were just a year ago versus the way they are today, where no one is allowed across the border, period. And we were talking more, you remember those big orange buoys that I put into the river? Yeah. Well, the Border Patrol is working on deploying those buoys in a much larger scale than what we already put into the river. So what we're seeing Border Patrol do is take up the strategies that Texas put in place, such as building the border wall, putting more people on the ground, putting buoys in the water, things like that. And because of the One Big Beautiful Bill, they have the money and resources to build out the best, strongest border security program ever in the history of America.
Governor, I want to circle back on these Democrats leaving the state as I sit here and think about it. I think the principle is very, very important so the audience understands. You can't have a minority in a legislature just kill a quorum every time they disagree with the majority, or you would never literally get anything done. And it really denies the voters the franchise. They voted for majority Republicans, and the Republicans rule until the Democrats can figure out how to win a majority. Isn't that right? It sets a horrendous precedent.
Well, you're right, and that's exactly why I filed a lawsuit in the Texas Supreme Court seeking, it's called a quo warranto. You know what that is, but probably most of the audience doesn't know what it means. We're trying to remove the leader of the Democrats from
Mr. Wu.
Yeah, for abdicating his job. In the Texas Constitution, it mandates, it requires that they shall vote on bills before them. And they're not acting on it. In fact, they have run from office. And because of their abdication of their responsibility, I'm seeking the removal of the leader of this cabal and restore the obligation. They show up for work. Think about this, Mark. The people listening to this show, they got to show up to work. If they don't show up to work, they say, I don't like it here. I'm going to go to Chicago. They'll be fired. That's what's going to happen to these runaway Democrats. They should be fired because they refuse to do the job that people elected them to do.
I don't want to hold you too much longer. I know you have a lot to do, but this guy Pritzker in Illinois, quite a nerve, don't you think? His redistricting or gerrymandering looks like, a bowl of linguine. He's got all kinds of things going on there and so forth. And then he dares to go on TV and everything. It's another one positioning to be president. None of these guys are really qualified, are they? Just by what they're doing right now.
Well, Pritzker's a piece of work. But I got to say, worse than that is the fact that Texas Democrats went to Illinois.
Yeah.
Illinois is the example of gerrymandering. It's kind of like deciding you're going to protest beer by going to Milwaukee. It just makes no sense whatsoever.
I guess they could have gone to Maryland, which has one Republican, or Massachusetts, which has none. But it is kind of ridiculous. Governor, you're doing a great job. You're welcome anytime. We'll try and get you on TV one of these days, okay?
I look forward to it.
God bless you, my friend. Take care of yourself. That's a real governor, Mr. Producer, isn't it? He really has been duking it out down there. He's really been doing a great job. He doesn't give a damn what Newsom threats. Newsom said, we're going to make big changes here in California. And he says, the governor of Texas apparently knows the Constitution better than Newsom. says, well, you have to change your constitution. You have to have a vote of the people. You watch, they're going to try something. And then our great governor from Florida, DeSantis, he says, we need to take another look here. And I'm going to ask him about that in the third hour too. So this is here's the positive thing you can get out of this. Number one, we have governors who are fighting. Number two, they're saying, the Democrats have done this. No, we're going to do it. And the president also has been behind this, pushing for this. I think he's the moving element here. And then number three, the next census is going to help the Republicans. Not by cheating, not by mathematical errors, but because the people have moved out of blue states and into red states. And so the red states will have more electoral college votes and more districts. This is why the Democrats have been flooding the country with illegal aliens, because they're trying to counter this. They're trying to counter you, me, we, the American citizen, with illegal aliens. They're trying to counter mobility, the people moving from New York and Illinois and Rhode Island and California and these dark blue states, which have hideous politicians, which are dangerous. They're trying to counter the movement of American citizens with the importation of illegal aliens. That's what they're doing. And they don't care if they destroy the country. This is why they're fighting what? Deportation. They don't want these people deported before the next census. They need the illegal aliens to counter you and me, Mr. and Mrs. America. That's how devious this is. Now, I was onto this 15 years ago, writing about it, talking about it. I was called, I think it was by National Review. No, it was the Wall Street Journal, a restrictionist. I said, you're damn right I'm a restrictionist. The border and our immigration laws are about restricting entry to certain people who meet certain legal requirements. Yes, I'm a restrictionist. And that was the same Wall Street Journal editorial page that proposed an amendment to the Constitution by the late, and he was great, Bob Bartlett. We shall have open borders. Say what? That was their position. And you see what a disaster it is. It wasn't just them, it was others too. And I'm going to protect the others. Some of them were conservatives. Some of them were my friends. Some of them trashed the great governor of California, Pete Wilson, when he was one of the earliest voices out there saying, no, we have to secure our border. He saw it. He knew what was happening. And then we had some Washington think tank guys, so-called conservatives, who were attacking him as being opposed to immigration. No, legal immigration. You can't do this. The people of California rose up, and they passed it. They passed a provision to limit illegal immigration. Then you had a federal judge, a left-wing radical, who basically turned it upside down and inside out. I could go on and on and on. This has been a movement that's been in place against the American people for a very, very long time, and focused quite heavily on California. California's the big, enchiladas, they say. All right, Mr. Producer, I am looking and looking. And so what I'm going to do, here it is. I found it. What if you could delay your next 2 mortgage payments? Wouldn't that be great? Wouldn't it be great, the amount of money that would free up? Imagine putting those 2 payments in your pocket and finally getting a little breathing room. It's possible when you call our friends at American Financing today. They're the best, highly rated, family-owned, been in business for 25 years, tremendous reputation. So if you're feeling stretched by everyday expenses, especially those damn credit cards and the interest on those, you're not alone. Most Americans are putting these expenses on these credit cards still. There doesn't seem to be a way out. But American Financing can show you, by moving your money around, how to use your home's equity to pay off that debt. Pay off that debt where you're paying 30 cents on every dollar. That's crazy. So you need to call American Financing today. They're available right now before you get to a point where you can't make those payments at all, and then there's not a lot that anybody can do. They're a salary-based mortgage consultant. not commission, salary-based, are helping homeowners just like you restructure their loans, consolidate the debt, all, ready for this, all without any upfront fees. And their customers are saving on average $800 a month. Many of the people in this audience. That's like a $10,000 raise. And you contact them, you give them the numbers they're asking for, they keep it confidential, and they'll tell you how much you can save. They're very upfront, they're very transparent. It's fast, it's simple, it can save you a ton. And it can save you a ton right now. So do yourself a favor. This is the lifeline, this phone number. Call American Financing today. 888-900-1828. Hello. 888-900-1828. They don't have your number. You have to call them. 888-900-1828 or visit AmericanFinancing.net.
NMLS 182334. NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
Next hour, the governor of Florida. We've had two great governors already, haven't we? Dunleavy of Alaska and Abbott of Texas. Next, man, I call America's governor, Ron DeSantis. We'll be right back.
Mark Levin. News Talk 105.9 WMAL, making sense of the news.
At the new Verizon store in Watertown, get the best of Verizon. Find all the latest deals on new devices, your favorites in music and streaming, and all the accessories you need. Switch today and pay $50 a month for a single line. That's right, just $50 a month when you bring in your phone on unlimited welcome with autopay plus taxes and fees. So come in now and let the savings begin. Stop by the new Verizon store at 129 Arsenal Yards Boulevard in Watertown today. $15 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply.
A better life with Dr. Sanjay Gupta.
Once you start to get serious, how long does it take to see results from your new workout routine? Experts we spoke to said best scenario, 2 to 4 weeks, but it could take a couple of months. How quickly you see results depends on a lot of things, whether you're a man or a woman, what kind of exercise you're doing, how consistently you're working out. You want to reach your goal sooner rather than later, you need to focus on higher intensity exercises, like running rather than yoga. Make small changes to your diet. That's going to add up, and that's going to be a lot more sustainable, rather than making sweeping changes that you're likely to give up on before you start to see results. And don't underestimate sleep. We talk about this all the time. Your willpower is so much stronger, and your cravings will be far fewer if you get quality rest, quality sleep every single night. I'm Dr. Sanjay Gupta, helping you live a better life.
Making sense of your world on the go. Stream your favorite shows, get the day's top headlines, and access our podcast archives, all with the new WMAL app. This is for you. Get the WMAL app on Google Play or the Apple App Store, and stay connected.
This week on Celeb News, the Hollywood glow-up you never saw coming. It's DirecTV. They're shaking things up with flexible options that fit any kind of taste and budget. They only look like $1 million, baby. They got packs with live TV and streaming for one sexy low price. Slay! Wait, DirecTV is receiving a Lifetime Achievement Award. It's DirecTV like you've never seen it. Visit DirecTV.com today. New residential customers. Auto renews monthly. Cancel anytime. Credit card and restrictions apply.
Every day, the men and women of the United States Marine Corps stand ready to defend the American way of life. The few, the proud, the Marines.
At the new Verizon store in Watertown, get the best of Verizon. Find all the latest deals on new devices, your favorites in music and streaming, and all the accessories you need. Switch today and pay $50 a month for a single line. That's right, just $50 a month when you bring in your phone on unlimited welcome with autopay plus taxes and fees. So come in now and let the savings begin. Stop by the new Verizon store at 129 Arsenal Yards Boulevard in Watertown today. $15 monthly promo credits applied over 36 months with a new line on unlimited welcome. In times of congestion, unlimited 5G and 4G LTE may be temporarily slower than other traffic. Domestic data roaming at 2G speeds. Additional terms apply.
Folks, we're living in a time when America's most cherished values are being challenged. Values like faith, family, and freedom. And that's why I support AMAC, the Association of Mature American Citizens. AMAC is the choice for Americans who care deeply about preserving the principles that have guided this nation for generations. As a member of the Association of Mature American Citizens, you'll receive access to fantastic benefits and discounts on travel, insurance, prescription services, as well as exclusive member-only tools and resources. And one of my personal personal favorites, the AMAC magazine, packed with meaningful content, insightful interviews, and updates you won't find anywhere else. Right now, you can join for as little as $1.20 a month. Hello, with a 5-year membership. That's an incredible value. So don't wait. Go to amac.us/Levin. That's amac.us/LEVIN. Become a member right away. Stand with AMAC. Help keep the values we hold dear going strong for future generations. That's amac.us/LEVIN.
Making sense of your world.
Thanks for taking my call.
News Talk 105.9 WMAL.
Greatly appreciated.
Making sense of the news. WMAL. Making sense of the headlines. Because common sense isn't so common. Download the WMAL app to stream us for free.
Hillsdale College, ladies and gentlemen. Wow, this is unconstitutional. You know, the president's a dictator taking over the city. And he hasn't done anything that's unconstitutional. Nothing. And one lower court after another is being overturned by our appellate courts or the Supreme Court. That's the truth. Another one was overturned today, where a lower court tried to prevent the president from cutting foreign aid. You remember that one? Well, a panel, the D.C. Circuit, 2-1 just voted no, the lower court didn't have the constitutional authority to do it. It's the left that violates the Constitution. It's their judges that violate the Constitution. It's their politicians that violate the Constitution. Trump is a constitutionalist. That's why he's so excited about celebrating 250 years of our history. 250 years. That's why he's so excited about our founders. That's why he's trying to fix the White House up and add a ballroom, because he believes in these things. That's why he's trying to clean up the city of Washington, the federal city, and actually protect those people there from their own elected politicians. Now, you shouldn't take the word of people who are screaming things are unconstitutional, unless, of course, it's me. But that's why I'm so excited that Hillsdale College is offering a brand new free online course called The Federalist. The Federalist Papers were written by two of America's great founders, pretty much, Hamilton and Madison. And they explain how the United States Constitution established a government strong enough to secure the rights of citizens and safe enough to wield that power. Hillsdale's online course on the Federalist includes 10 lectures, each about 30 minutes long, and you can take the course at your own pace, and there's no cost to sign up. And the faculty that teaches this, they are fantastic. You're going to love this. So go right now to levinforhillsdale.com to enroll. That's LEVIN for Hillsdale.com. Again, no cost. Easy to get started. That's levinforhillsdale.com. Register for free. LEVIN for Hillsdale.com. Check it out, folks. Over at National Review, Neil Freeman. Neil Freeman used to work at National Review with Bill Buckley. He's an old friend of mine. When I first came to Washington, D.C. in the Reagan administration, and I walked into this building of an agency that we eliminated called Action, he was there. He wasn't there because he needed it. He didn't need it. He was there because he was helping the president. And he's written this, the heart a joke with my friend Irving Kristol about his friends at the Anti-Defamation League, who profess to see anti-Semitism everywhere, even among baseball fans, who for dark and unspoken reasons chose to root for the Red Sox over the Yankees. A National Review editor from those days, who might prefer to remain nameless, once deadpanned to all hands meeting that projecting the Anti-Defamation League's numbers, within just 3 years, 127% of American adults would be reported as committed anti-Semites. Even the Jews in the room laughed. It's been a long, hot summer. 2 months ago, my next-door neighbor needed a new roof on his otherwise elegant Florida home. The sun here beats the tar out of the shingles, and the roof must be replaced every 10 years or so. He hired a motley crew. In an old-school journal style, I wandered over to chat them up over the lunch breaks. There are an oppressed people, roofers. Spend a few summer days on a roof here, and you'll begin to look and probably to feel like a strip of bacon very recently fried. Roofers, in the manner of oppressed peoples everywhere, need someone to blame for the living hell their lives have become. And they've settled on the rich guys who live in air-conditioned splendor beneath expensive new roofs. These guys tend to be lawyers, developers, traders, crypto bros, Jews. and they're the ones to blame, the Jews. Last month, I attended a mini reunion with the L friends. My aging classmates may be a bit fuzzy on what they had for lunch yesterday, but they remember with clarity the mad meteoractic dash through which we all had churned those many years ago. To a man across the spectrum from the hard left to, well, me, we were disgusted by reports from campus that Jewish students have been harassed for being Jewish. That's not the place we knew and loved. We should also note that there is a general sense of relief that under the new president, Yale seems to be losing the competition with Harvard and Columbia for that distinction. The wheel has turned almost 180 degrees. In our time on campus, there was the occasional outburst of country club anti-Semitism. But on issues larger than the question of how keen Oliver Farnsworth IV was to play golf with Jews, the Ivy League had been a bastion of anti-Semitism. Week before last, I zoomed in with a heavily credentialed group of national security experts, and he goes on, these different groups he meets. Oh, so many of them, well, they blame the Jews. And he says, National Review, conservatives everywhere. We need to speak out. We need to fight this. And Neil Friedman was one of the architects, founders really of National Review with Bill Buckley. I'll be right back.
For a local news source you can trust, visit WMAL.com.
Thank God for that.
Get the day's top stories, stream your favorite WMAL shows, access our podcast archives, and more. WMAL.com, making sense of your world online.
I have to go, but I'll be back later.
Find all the latest deals on new devices, your favorites in music and streaming, and all the accessories you need. Switch today and pay $50 a month for a single line. That's right.